I deeply and completely love and forgive myself. Even though I have this fear of rejection, I deeply and completely love and forgive myself. And tapping the eyebrow point. This fear of rejection. Side of the eye. This fear of rejection. Under the eye. This fear of rejection. Under the nose. This fear of rejection. On the mouth. This fear of rejection. Collarbone. This fear of rejection. Under the arm. This fear of rejection. And top of the head. This fear of rejection. And take a deep breath. That is the basic recipe of EFT. So you now know how to do it. You could use that in any situation. You could show this to people who are experiencing any kind of emotional or even physical distress, like a headache. So you just have them say, even though I have this headache, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then tap each point saying this headache. Now, as we go through the rest of this teleseminar, I'm going to do EFT the way I do it, whereas a lot of words will start flowing through, and you'll be repeating back the words that come up in terms of, just the various ideas that might come up around sales. But I wanted to show you what the basics of EFT were for those of you who are new to EFT, so that you can do this on your own without even worrying about, gee, I don't know what words to say. Because the only words you need to be able to say are what the problem is that you want to be working on. And in fact, if you're in a moment of distress, like going to pick up that telephone and your heart is pounding, you don't even need to say the words because your body is already tuned into the problem. The reason for the words is so that we tune into the problem, so we bring it up in the energy system so that it gets cleared out. It's like if you wanted to clean up a stain or a spill in your kitchen with a mop, you'd want to be mopping right where the spill is. You wouldn't want to come in and go, oh, okay, well, I'll go over here where the floor is clean and mop over here. It's just not going to effectively clean your floor. So we want to be focusing on where the problem is. Any questions now? Apparently I'm being very clear. Good. So, pardon me?
You're making...
Oh, you're only saying it because it's true. Okay, what I want everyone to do is close your eyes, take a deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. And just for a moment, sit there with your eyes closed. Feel your feet on the floor. Allow yourself to become present, to get grounded. And just notice, as you think about sales, the different issues that come up around sales, notice where you might experience some discomfort, physical, emotional, and or spiritual. Notice if it's coming up in any part of your body. If when you think about doing sales, you might feel queasiness in your stomach. You might feel a tightness in your chest or your throat. And just notice what comes up around the sales process, about customers, about working with clients, about finding clients, about closing, about their expectations post-sale. Will they make a lot of demands? Is there a part of you that would rather not have to deal with customers whatsoever? Which, of course, makes being in sales very complicated. So, and again, thinking about the possible fear of rejection, this fear that when you try to make a sale that the person's going to reject the product and in so doing reject you. Maybe there's a part of you that thinks, oh, if they don't want what I'm selling, they don't want me. And how does that make you feel? Pardon me? I just heard a recorded voice. So, okay, now take another deep breath. Did anyone have a strong, uncomfortable feeling come up while I was talking about any of that?
Yeah.
Yeah? What was the biggest uncomfortable feeling you had?
In the gut.
In the gut. On a scale of 0 to 10?
Probably about a 9.
A 9. And what was the particular thing that's giving you that discomfort?
Fear of rejection. Fear of not being good enough.
Okay. Say, and those are two slightly different. Well, you can go in either door. So okay, so everyone, go ahead and say, "I'm afraid I'll be rejected."
I'm afraid I'll be rejected.
And on a scale of 0 to 10, let's hear some other numbers. Or not.
I'm maybe at a 1.
Oh, okay, good. 10 of course being, 10 would be the most fear.
Correct.
So, okay. All right, so we'll go through this, and the wonderful thing about doing EFT in groups is there's a thing called borrowing benefits. So that I can be tapping with somebody on an event or issue that's particular to them and may not resemble and may not seem to resemble anything that anyone else on the call is going through, and everyone on the call will get some kind of benefit. It may be subtle, but EFT is always benefiting the person, and our minds have a funny way of connecting and relating to what's being said, even though it may not seem like something that we're going through. So side of the hand, even though I have this fear of rejection, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this fear of rejection, I deeply and completely love and forgive myself. Even though I have this fear of rejection, when I make a sales call, I'm so afraid the person will say no. Because part of me thinks they're not saying no to the product. They're not just rejecting the product. They're rejecting me. When they say no, part of me feels that what they're really saying is that I'm not good enough. Maybe they'd buy it from someone else. It's all about me. That's because I have this belief that I'm not good enough. And given that, maybe they should reject me. And it's about time I let go of this belief. Because the truth is, I'm more than good enough. And I'm the one they should buy it from. And even though I have this fear of rejection, I deeply and completely love and forgive and accept myself. And anyone else who mistakenly told me that I wasn't good enough. Eyebrow point. This fear of rejection. Side of the eye, this fear of rejection. Under the eye, this fear of rejection. Under the nose, all this fear of rejection. On the mouth, all this fear in my gut. Collarbone, all this fear in my gut. Under the arm, I have this gut fear of rejection. Top of the head, this gut fear of rejection. Eyebrow point, it's been there for a long time. Side of the eye, probably long before I got into sales. Under the eye, it has little to do with sales. On the nose, but the sales sure brings it up. On the mouth, selling sure brings up that gut fear. Collarbone. So I have two choices. On the arm, I can get out of sales. Top of that, or I can get this gut fear out. Eyebrow point. Do I really want to hold on to the gut fear? So part of me thinks, under the eye, that it's protecting me. On the nose, I must have been hurt long ago. On the mouth, maybe I remember when. Collarbone, maybe I don't. On the arm, but something happened. Top of the head, where I was rejected. Eyebrow point, and I made a decision. Side of the eye, that meant, under the eye, that I wasn't good enough. On the nose, I made that decision.